Hello everyone, now we are going to see the normalization techniques on the dataset named as Netflix data. Now again we have to import the pandas library and use its instance PD. Using that pandas library read.csv command, we can read the content of the Netflix originals .csv file. Right. So here we can observe the first few instances of the file. It contains title, gen, premiere, runtime, IMDb score, and language. Now we can observe the information of the data frame. Now here the total entries are 584, ranges from 0 to 583. There are total 6 columns. The type data type of each column, first 3 columns are of type object. Then runtime is of integer type. IMDb score, it is of float type, and language, it is of object type. So one float, one integer, and 4 object data types are there in the given data set. Now checking for the null value, we can use the isNull dot sum function. Then checking for the data type of the columns, so df dot d type, also we have seen this data type in info command. The chain and language can be converted to a category type. The gen, it is the different category are there, like documentary, thriller. So the data type shown here is object. Instead of object, we can convert its data type to a category data type. As well as the language column, we can observe the entries in that. So English or Japanese, Spanish, Italian, again English, and Hindi. So again, instead of object data type, we can convert it to a category data type. So for converting one data type to another data type, the command we are using here is as type, right? From df command, we are using as type, as we are converting two different columns like chain and language. So here we are taking the curly bracket, and chain is converted to category, language as well as content into the category data type. The function used here is as a type, right? So here the data type is converted. The premier column has date information, right? So here we can see that this premier it contains a date August 5 2009, like date data we are having here. So let us change the data type of the this column to date time. Previously it was shown like I think float. So premier, it is of again type object. So instead of object, we can change it to date data type. So df premier pd dot date time index is the command, and the column name. You can look at the change in your data frame now, right? So here it is converted into date frame 5, 8, and 2019. Again check the data type of each column, whether it is converted to the particular data type. Title is of object type. Chain, we have converted it to category from object. Premiere also we have converted from object to date time 64. Runtime, it is of integer type. IMDb score, it is of float type, and language also converted to category data type. Now let us normalize our data. So using describe, we can have detailed of this runtime and IMDb. These are float and numerical values. So we are getting the min max count for only this to runtime and IMDb, because only this column contains numbers. So we can find the min max standard deviation, minimum value and maximum value only for those column which contains the numbers. Notice the difference in mean and the other values. Mean and the other values for the two columns. Let us plot a box plot um, to see the difference. So to plot that a box plot, we are using a we are first importing the Seaborn library and use SNS as its instance. SNS dot boxplot is the command, and data we are using df data frame. Now notice the range of the column, since here uh, the runtime the range is from 0 to 200, actually 200 it's a outlier, so 0 to 150, and IMDb is having within 50 is the range. Since the scales are different, it is a good practice to normalize the data. The scales are too different from each other, so we can normalize the data. Let us first look at the data distribution for each column to see which normalization technique would be suitable. First we see the histogram for runtime and IMDb, both the columns. We plot the data distribution using histogram. So here we can see the curve is somewhat depicting the normal distribution, and the second one IMDb, so it is again nearly similar to the normal distribution, but the columns show an approximately normal distribution. So we can go with standardizing this data. Let us create a new data frame having only these two columns. So here we are creating new data frame gf underscore numeric containing these two columns only. So after observing the few instances of this new data frame, now we can now standardize df numeric using the code below. So here we are using standard scalar, which is z score normalization, right? So we are importing for standard scalar from sklearn preprocessing library. We are creating its instance, and then pd.dataframe scalar dot fit transform df numeric, scalar dot fit transform df numeric, and column names are runtime and IMDb score, right? So data will get scaled to a range. Now again we'll plot the histogram for the new data frame, which contains only two columns, right? So here we can see the range is normalized -2 to 4, -4 to 3, right? The data is now standardized as it is centered around 0. You can check the mean and standard deviation. df underscore numeric dot mean, so it shows 0 for both the columns, because df numeric contains two columns, and for standard deviation it is showing value 1 for both the column. Now that we have standardized this column, let us replace this in the original data frame df. So we'll again copy the data from df numeric to df runtime and IMDb score. Here we can see the normalized data into the original data frame. So in this way we have normalized our data from the data set named as Netflix data. Thank you.